Hey guys, it's Will and Sid here with Forever Adventures, and today we're going to give y'all our top rides at Busch Gardens, Tampa, Florida. We're going to do our top three. So I'm going to give y'all my top three, and Sid is going to give y'all her top three rides at Busch Gardens. But on my list, I have a couple honorable mentions that I want to throw out there. So let's get this started. All right, guys, so I'm going to go from three all the way down to one being my top favorite ride at Busch Gardens. So my number three ride is Kumba. Why I like Kumba is the line is usually always short for some reason. Now that's always a plus at these theme parks when you can get a short line, because then if you like something, you can keep riding over and over and not waste so much time out of your day. And also about Kumba I like is all the twists and turns, and it's kind of violent. So I love that aspect about it. It's fast, it gets your adrenaline pumping. I think that's one of their classic roller coasters that they have over there, and I love Kumba. All right, so my number two favorite ride at Busch Gardens is actually a new addition to the park. It is Tigress. Now, if y'all haven't seen my other video where I did an on-ride POV of Tigress, y'all can see on that ride how much fun I had riding it, back to back that day, because it was a light day. They didn't really have a crowd that day. It was during the week. So I was able to ride once in the last row, and then I rode it again on the front row. And again, I'm gonna link up in the card, up in the corner of the screen. You can click on that link and see that video of me on that ride, so y'all can get an understanding of what I'm saying. But I didn't have high hopes for that ride because it's so short. It's only like a minute long exactly, and they only run one car at a time for obvious reasons because of how it's shaped and everything like that, how short it is. So when I rode it, I was like, man, I think it has 3 launches in it, because every time you come back down to the bottom, it launches you the other way. And I just love it. I love the intensity of it. I love the, just the rawness of it. And it's pretty smooth too, because since it's a new coaster. But I really love Tigress, and that's one of the roller coasters where I try to ride that every time, if not multiple times, every time I go. The only thing I don't like about it is really tight getting into the seats, like to move over to get to the actual, over the cart and get into your seat is very tight right there. And then they have these straps that come down over your shoulders. It's kind of weird. But other than that, I love Tigress, even though it's very short. All right, guys, so we made it down to my number one favorite ride at Busch Gardens, and this is hands down. If anybody asks me out in the street, what's your favorite ride at Busch Gardens, it's definitely got to be Cheetah Hunt. First time I rode Cheetah Hunt, I was amazed on how smooth it was. The launches, the air time, the curves, and it got some slow parts, some fast parts, the multiple launches. I love Cheetah Hunt, and that is definitely my number one ride at Busch Gardens. Now, maybe that'll change once the new Gwazi opens up, but for right now, Cheetah Hunt takes the cake. My honorable mentions: Montu. I love, having your feet, hanging. I love it's just a different feel. It reminds me of Kumba, but it's inverted, so your feet are hanging down. So I like that because, it kind of reminds me of Kumba, which is one of my favorite rides there. It's right at the front of the park, and also it never really has, that long of a wait. So if you want to ride it multiple times, you can hit it, the last row, and then you can get right back on again and hit the front row. So that's one of my honorable mentions. My other one is Falcon's Fury. Now, all of these rides I have POV videos on. The link will be in the description to those videos. So Falcon's Fury takes you up. I don't know how many feet it goes up, but it takes you all the way up. And then as soon as you get to the top, it tilts you down, so you're looking straight down. And then it just drops you all the way down. So I love that ride because, you know, it wakes me up. Like it gets the adrenaline pumping. And then I like seeing everybody's reaction around me, how if it's their first time doing it, they get so scared and everybody's screaming. I just love that. And it's usually always a short wait.
Hey y'all, Sid here. Let me mention my best three. So I'm gonna go same as Will, 3, 2, 1. So number 3 for me is Tigress, of course, because it's newer, it's shorter, but the only thing I don't like about it is that it's one cart. That's pretty annoying. You could go 45-minute wait, but you could be so close, but because there's one cart, only so many people can get on it. What is it, like 8 to 10 people at a time? But other than that, it's very smooth. Airtime is nice. The second one is the Sky Ride, for obvious reasons. It's very slow. It takes you around the park. It's kind of like you're in a bucket on a zip line. You go over the animals. It's very quiet. You're away from all the roller coasters, so it's not loud. There's really no people. But if you're in a big family, I mean, you're gonna have to split up your party, most likely. My number 1 is the same as Will's, and it's Cheetah Hunt. Cheetah Hunt is the best roller coaster. I'm not a huge fan. I will ride all the roller coasters as I have, but I'm not a huge fan because I get motion sickness and I can only take roller coasters probably once. I can't do back to back. So, but Cheetah Hunt, I could definitely do it back to back because it's very smooth. It doesn't go upside down. It imitates a cheetah, the way it runs, the way it turns the corners and stuff like that. So I love it. It's pretty smooth. And it's not as violent as some other ones.
So guys, that's just a look at our top 3 rides and a couple honorable mentions in there. And a correction, we did find out about Cheetah Hunt does have one upside down, but it's not your traditional loop. It's just like a twisty upside down, but you know, it's nothing major. So that's our top 3 rides at Busch Gardens. Stay tuned for our next video where we're gonna go over our most hated rides at Busch Gardens. And as always, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, show your support, leave us a comment, tell us what you want to see down in the comments, and we'll continue to pump out good videos for you guys. Until next time, it's Forever Adventures, and we're out.